Hello, folks. Just an update for those of you that know about one of my stalkers, Ron Collins, the guy that spent time in a mental hospital as well as prison, the one that keeps challenging me to a fight, and whenever I step up, he runs away. Well, some of you know that basically he is a convicted felon now. Short story, try to make it short. They found kiddie porn on his computer. While waiting trial, they let him out, and he made a blog that clearly was a threat that unless they dropped the charges, he was going to go on a killing spree. So they picked him up and no bail. During the time that he was in jail awaiting trial, they tested him, found out that he was nuttier than a squirrel turd. And instead of trying him because, he wasn't fit to stand trial, they sent him to Sharps Mental Hospital, a place called Sharps. Okay, and then he got out. No trial for the kiddie porn or the terrorist threats because, he was already established that when he did them, he wasn't, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, in American law, if you're unaccounted for your actions, they don't try you. So a few years later, he bought a gun and he lied on the FFL form. That is undeniable. He, it's right there. Were you ever put in a mental hospital? He said no, and he knew he was. So it doesn't really matter if he could buy a gun or not, but he went to prison for 5 years for that. Yeah. So he tried to appeal, and they eventually said denied with prejudice, which basically means you cannot appeal. There is a provision. You can get a judge to sign off and lift that, and then you can appeal your case, and that's what he was trying. But yeah, so it just came down like on Thursday there's a service that lawyers can subscribe to. Well, anyone, and so it got I found out about it on Friday. That was up there. It's probably in the mail, so Ron will find out sometime next week. But yeah, so he is denied. No surprise there. No surprise there. Again, it was online, so Ron won't hear about it through the paperwork until maybe Thursday, Friday, thereabouts. But let me just read this off, okay? Okay, so it starts off per curiam. I do not know what that means, and I'm wise enough to understand that I don't know what I don't know. But here we go. Ronald Collins Jr. seeks to appeal the district court's order accepting the recommendation of the magistrate judge and denying relief on Collins' 28 USC, some weird symbol, 2255 motion. The order is not appealable unless a circuit justice or judge issues a certificate of appealability. That's what I was talking about. And then, C, and then there's numbers and letters and yeah. A certificate of appealability will not issue absent, quote, a substantial showing of the denial of a constitutional right, unquote. Again, numbers and letters. When the district court denies relief on the merits, a prisoner satisfies this standard by demonstrating that reasonable jurists could find the district court's assessment of the constituted claims debatable or wrong. See Buck versus Davis, numbers and letters. 2017 evidently happened. When the district court denies relief on procedural grounds, the prisoner must demonstrate both that the dispositive procedural ruling is debatable and that the motion states a debatable claim of the denial of a constitutional right. I'm going to be honest, I really don't know what that means, but evidently he has to prove something. It says, see Buck versus Davis, numbers and letters. When the district court denies relief on procedural grounds, Gonzalez versus Thader, and then numbers and letters. Yes. Final paragraph, this is the thing. We have independently reviewed the record and concluded that Collins has not made the requisite showing. Accordingly, we deny a certificate of appealability, deny Collins's motion for abeyance, and dismiss the appeal. We dispense with oral arguments because the facts and legal conventions are adequately presented in the materials before this court, and argument would not aid the decisional process. And then it says dismissed. So there you have it. Ron Collins' claim has been dismissed. He is and forever more will be a felon. And it's just justified. I mean, the best thing for him to do would just be admit it. Okay, he's going to be a convicted felon in his life. He's going to have things that he can't do because he's a convicted felon, and just work around that. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I planted some things in his mind, and he's basically going to be spending the rest of his life trying to fight this in a futile motion. But for those of you that care, that's the situation. Ron will probably get the paperwork Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I don't know. But yeah, that's it. And I'm going to go back to drinking some coffee and enjoying a good book today. Happy Labor Day, everyone.